Welcome back, everyone. Episode 43 of Brodie Pod. Be sure to like, subscribe on YouTube, turn on notifications, follow us on Spotify, rate the show 5 stars, helps out a lot. You know, stay up to date on the show. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter/X, and Facebook at Brodie Pod on everything. And also another special announcement: Brodie Pod is now on Amazon Music. So anybody that uses Amazon Music, we're here and we're available to be listened to. You can't watch a podcast on Amazon Music, but you can listen to it.
I hope you're not using Amazon Music.
I did ask the question. I was
it could be down horrendous. That's the case.
I think we're going to get big into the Alexa market. Let's start it here. Alexa, play Brodie Pod, episode 43.
That'd be sick.
Cool. Everyone's Alexa just played Brodie Pod. Hopefully you weren't listening on speaker because we're now on your Alexa. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the show. Matt, what's up, man? We are back recording late at night again. Once again, they'll never know because this podcast is coming out on Thursday. But
I don't know the grind that it takes.
They'll never know how late we were recording this episode, but we will. And later in the episode, if we start not making sense, we're sleep deprived. But
right.
whatever
Although
it
probably
takes.
have not made sense before, so
It would not be the
maybe
first
they won't
time.
tell.
Yeah, Matt, I figure we always start with the weekend recap, but we are recording this on Tuesday night, so maybe we do a week recap, a little weekend recap.
I mean, I did see that you had a weekend recap thing there, but also you had a more eventful weekend than I did.
Yeah, I hand up. I didn't watch any sports this weekend. To be fair, there wasn't a lot of sports to watch this weekend. There was
Tough
the MLB trade
for
deadline.
the brand.
Yeah. I kept up where I could, but I went on a bachelor trip to Lake Broken Bow and had an absolute blast out there. Went to the casino, did not win at the casino, and then an hour later I found out that my truck's tire had blown up. And so now I'm paying for a new tire on top of losing money at the casino.
You didn't even tell me about that.
Yeah, I haven't talked to you all week. I've been gone. I've been MIA for the weekend.
That is true. So you found it blown up?
No, so I switched out vehicles with my parents, and my poor mother was driving my truck when the tire went out on it.
Oh, your mom was driving it?
Yeah, unfortunate. I switched out vehicles because she had more seats, and I was fit more. I was able to drive everyone around at the lake.
You get a lot of friends
in the car.
We get it.
No, I was just there on a bachelor.
I need to flex.
I was there on a bachelor trip. You know, it was a good time.
Is your poor mother okay?
Yeah, everything worked out fine, and I mean, it wasn't like a crash or anything. It just
like a full blown.
The tire went out, so we had to get a tow truck and get her taken care of. But everything's all good. I did, however, that was the worst part of the weekend. The best part was I played a lot of golf. So we went and played golf, and then also the cabin we were staying at had a golfing simulator inside of it. So I think one day total, I played 72 holes of golf. I played a full tournament.
So the best part wasn't your buddy getting married; it was the golf.
Well, it's a bachelor trip. He's not getting married until later this year.
Right.
We're just there celebrating. Yeah. Although it would have been a cool spot for a wedding, but actually, I believe his wedding is going to be at a casino, or the after parties at the casino. So, listen, I lost money this weekend, but I'm coming back with a vengeance.
They should try to get like a casino sponsorship in that case.
Yeah, maybe on the podcast.
There's going to be a lot of money lost. If it's after the wedding, obviously it would be after, but it's going to be, is it open bar, I assume?
Yeah, I think so. The wedding's not for a couple months.
Most weddings should, but that's going to be a lot of money lost, perhaps.
Oh, there's Matt. Matt's back. We lost signal for a second. Matt, you're back.
Well, you lost signal.
Okay, maybe I lost signal.
One of us lost signal.
It's so late, our internet's getting cut out. But Matt, what was your week like?
Dude, nothing, man. Really, just work.
Grinding out in the 100-degree heat?
Correct. But this will be the last grinding of 100-degree I will have. I am switching jobs.
Hopefully the last time we have to record this late in the podcast. But
yeah.
All that aside, we are here and we will get into what the show is bringing up for you this week. Starting off, we're getting to Brodie's of the Week. Got some good ones. Me and Matt each have one each. Each have one each. That's okay. See that we're already starting to not make sense. Then we're getting some NFL training camp news that's going around the league, some extensions, some unfortunate news, some good news. Kind of, you got the good, the bad. And then we're getting some MLB drama. There was actually a couple big trades that went down, but one really big one that, shook the whole MLB system. And probably we may not have baseball next year, but we'll get into that a little bit. And then we'll finish off. I don't know what we're going to finish off with. It's going to be one final question, or we're going to do like a game that we normally do. But, Matt, let's get into Brodie's of the Week. You start us off.
Okay, so this Brodie of the Week will be the first. I think it's probably the first. Definitely the last time he'll be mentioned. But I guess if a lot of y'all don't know, I'm a big New Orleans Saints fan.
What?
I guess, right?
You're a Saints
hard to tell,
fan?
right? Very hard to tell.
I was going to say the Drew Brees jersey behind you, but yeah, the Saints helmet also.
I do have that, but I wanted to put it on. It might be a bad look.
It didn't fit with the headset.
It didn't. Headset wouldn't fit. I tried it. But yeah, Drew Brees is getting inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame this Saturday, August 8th. Yeah, I guess probably a lot of y'all saw the video of him calling Sean Payton up. It was hammered, by the way.
Sean Payton was hammered?
Sean Payton was out and about that night.
Shocker.
But yeah, he called him to ask him to be the one that introduces him at the ceremony. I mean,
he didn't call you up?
See, I was waiting.
Yeah,
I had my cell right next to me.
Ready for
I was waiting for the call.
I need a true fan to come introduce me to the Hall of Fame.
I was waiting to see the fleur-de-lis signal up the night sky like Batman. But I mean, it really does mean a lot. Like he's the guy that kind of got me into football. At like such a young age. Like he had obviously Katrina and stuff. He kind of took that entire city, not only the franchise of the Saints, but the entire city, like just put that on his shoulders. Obviously led him to a ring. He was obviously very, very fucking good. I don't want to hear anything about Tom Brady or Peyton Manning. He's my GOAT. Always will be. That one ring weighs more than Tom Brady's 7.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But yeah, I do have some stats here though, just because this would be like the only time I could talk about it, I guess, right?
Yeah, bring them up.
So 80,358 passing yards. That is second all time behind you know who. He has 5,000 plus yard seasons. No other QB has more than 2. Do you know those two?
The two that have 5,000.
The two that have 2.
The two that have 2. I'm going to say, definitely Tom Brady.
Yes.
That's the easy one. And then probably Aaron Rodgers.
Not Aaron Rodgers.
Is it?
I'm not sure Aaron Rodgers has 1.
I say it's either got to be Mahomes or Manning.
It's Mahomes.
It is Mahomes.
Even though Manning does have the record for the most. Which, by the way, Brees is 1 yard short. He was 1 yard short in 2013, I believe, for tying for the most yards in a season. But Brees has 5. He has 3 straight seasons with over 5,100 passing yards. He has a completion percentage for his career of 67.7. That is third all time behind. I'm not going to make you guess because it's Tua Tagovailoa and Joe Burrow.
There's no way Tua's in the same breath as Drew Brees.
Yeah, I obviously
also, that's
Brees.
A very high completion rate for Tua. I'm actually shocked. Is that high?
He surprisingly, yes.
Now, granted, let's take it with a grain of salt.
Sample
Tua
size.
and Burrow have not played with the same amount of seasons as Drew Brees did.
Correct. Even combined, they're not close. But Drew Brees, 571 passing touchdowns. That's second behind, who played longer, but 98.7 career passer rating. That is 7th, which I don't know the threshold for all these stats. I don't know how many is, I guess there obviously is a minimum, but I mean, Brees played like 20 seasons and he still compiled all this stuff. He for his entire career he averaged 280 passing yards per game.
Wait, how many seasons did Brees play?
20.
20. I didn't realize he was that long in the league.
01 to 2020.
2021.
No.
Or am I off?
When they be 01, 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06.
Yeah, just off on the years. Okay.
No, because you would count 01 as a season.
Oh, okay. That's right.
2020, that would be 20. But that's 280 passing yards per game. That's second behind Mahomes, actually. He's first. Smaller sample size, but.
Right.
And he's tied for 21st for yards per pass attempt. And I wanted to include that because the big stigma behind him is he just checks it down. Check down merchant. Doesn't throw that far down the field. But he's tied with Aaron Rodgers for yards per pass attempt. And people view Rodgers
gunslinger.
Correct. A deep ball, aficionado, if you will.
Right.
So I wanted to include that, just put more respect on his name.
Yeah, I will also say just giving Drew Brees like his flowers. Like, can't tell the history of the NFL without Drew Brees. Now, are you shocked that he's going in as a Saint and not a Charger?
Absolutely not. The Chargers I did see a post with the Chargers.
I think we covered it on the podcast.
And he was in the Chargers uniform, but.
Actually, I think the Chargers were my Brodie of the week whenever this first got announced.
Yeah.
I was like, congrats to the Chargers getting a quarterback in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
I don't know who Phillip Rivers might get there.
Yeah, and it's also just crazy to me that Drew Brees has already been out of the NFL for 5 seasons.
Yeah.
Like, there goes your childhood.
Correct. It's over.
It's been a whole new wave of quarterbacks that are now in.
It's been detrimental since he left, but things are looking up.
But yeah, I did go ahead and look up the rest of like the Pro Football Hall of Fame that's going in with Drew Brees. So Drew Brees, obviously the big name in this class. The other notable names in this were Larry Fitzgerald, who longtime Arizona Cardinal.
Mm-hmm.
Luke Kuechly was a Carolina Panther, played against Drew Brees in the NFC South, had some good battles.
Second youngest inductee to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, by the way. Yeah.
There was a old video of him watching game film, and apparently he went through it with an Xbox controller. That's how he broke down film.
He's a freak, man.
He's a freak.
He loved ball.
And then the other two that I saw here was Adam Vinatieri, one of the best kickers in the history of the league, and then Roger Craig, which, Matt, I believe we had looked up, and I think he was dominant in like the Super Bowls for the 49ers.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
One of their star running backs. Wasn't too familiar with Roger Craig's game, but happy he's getting in as well. But obviously, Drew Brees, got to give him some flowers. He's getting into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I'm going to be interested to see what the bus looks like for him. The statue they're going to have, the bronze statue they're going to unveil for him. Is he going to have the scar under his eye?
Has to.
Somehow they got to make that work.
Has to. It's iconic.
I assume, Matt, you'll also be watching his speech that he's going to probably give.
Yeah.
You said when is it? It's Saturday that it's happening, or is it during the Pro Football Hall of Fame game?
Sure, it's not the same time.
I don't know. I've never actually watched a Hall of Fame inductee speech, but I'm sure this one you're going to be watching. Or
correct.
You know what? Honestly, this is what happens. We won't watch it live. We'll just get the highlights on Twitter.
I think I'm going to watch it live.
Okay. Well, I'll probably just get the highlights on Twitter.
That's my go. Might tear up a little bit, but so will hundreds of thousands of other people.
Right. I was also going to bring this up in the later segments of the show, but I guess I'll just bring it up now. We do have football this week. Starts this week. We got the preseasons officially starting Thursday, August 6th. When this podcast drops tonight, we have the Pro Football Hall of Fame game. That's going to be including the Carolina Panthers taking on the Arizona Cardinals. I was surprised that they wasn't like the Saints taking on like the Cardinals or the Panthers. I guess you can have them take on the Panthers. Actually, no. That's why the Saints probably aren't in it, because they're playing the Panthers and the Cardinals this season in the regular season. So that's probably why they're not doing it for the preseason game. But I am excited for this battle. The quarterbacks have been announced who's starting, and neither of them are Drew Brees caliber. We have Kenny Two Gloves Pickett, and then we have the rookie Carson Beck for the Arizona Cardinals. Gonna be I think this might be a preseason game I actually like watch, just at least for like the first drive or however long these quarterbacks are in, because Kenny Pickett, start off with the Steelers. I always think back him of his pit days whenever he did the fake slide. I said that's actually scumbag behavior. He probably should get his head taken off for doing a fake slide as a quarterback. And then Carson Beck, I mean, there's so much talk around him that now we're going to get to see him in the NFL. Now, granted, it is going to be, a caliber down. It's the preseason, but still, Carson Beck's playing football in the NFL. I want to see what that's going to look like.
Yeah. What's interesting, though, is that he threw the last pass in the college football season, and he potentially might throw the first pass in the NFL. Although it's preseason, but still.
No, but he's going to be the starting pass for the NFL season. Oh, right. Now I hope the Cardinals get the ball first.
He could be.
Pass. I don't know if was it Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be playing this game.
It should be.
Probably should be getting some reps, but
I was talking about a potential bust.
Well, let's not get into bust talk yet. Only bust talk can be.
Well, right, correct.
Carolina is picked to win this game by 1.5. So that's probably all the preseason talk we'll do for the NFL. I'm sure there'll be some other storylines that come out of it, but
surely we have some degenerates watching that will.
Bet that they've just been waiting the whole offseason.
They will use that information to bet on.
Well, I just mean like
one of the teams.
I'm so excited for football, but I don't know if I'm excited for like preseason football. At least until like not like the third week when the actual starters play like the first drive or something. Like the first first 2 weeks of preseason are
completely fair. Unless you're like super invested into NFL and like because they'll play obviously not the starters, but it's fun to watch like the rookies and the fourth and fifth strings that potentially have a chance to make a name for themselves and get a contract or whatever. But
I'm just glad we have the podcast. Last year we started it. We were like the second week in the NFL season. We're gonna get the whole intro this year. We're gonna be leading all the way up to the first game of the NFL season.
We're on our stuff now.
Yeah, we know well, I wouldn't say we know what we're doing, but we are established. We're established.
Correct.
Well, mine is also football related for my Brodie of the week. I put my Brodie week as the Big Ten, college football. The top 25 preseason coaches poll was released on Tuesday. The Big Ten had 8 teams in the top 25, starting off with number 1, Ohio State, number 2, Oregon, number 6, Indiana, and then USC, Michigan, Penn State, Washington, Iowa. Really, it was just like the top 10 I was more invested in. I was shocked to see the Big Ten had 1 and 2 with Ohio State and Oregon. So that's why they're my Brodie of the week. And then the SEC, I mean, you really could put them as my Brodie of the week, but the SEC, everyone knows the powerhouse. They had 9 teams in the top 25. Just running through real quick, it was number 3, Georgia, number 4, Texas, number 8, Texas A&M, number 9, Oklahoma, number 10, Ole Miss, number 11, Alabama, number 13, LSU, Matt, that's your team, number 18, Tennessee, and then number 25, Missouri. And then the Big 12 had 4 teams, most notable, Texas Tech being number 12. And the ACC had 3 teams, most notable being number 7, Miami. Also, Clemson was ranked 23, which is their lowest preseason ranking in a coach's poll since 2011.
Yeah, I mean, they're almost out of it.
Yeah, well,
at that point.
Dabo is slowly proving that you have to get in the transfer portal. But
correct.
More power to him. And then I can't talk about the top 25 without mentioning Notre Dame is ranked number 5, the only independent school that is outside of the big conferences in the top 25. There's all
those teams are like, Bijan.
I said there's the big controversy with Notre Dame of if they're just ranked in the top 12 by the end of the year, they're in the college football playoff.
Right. I mean, all these teams are kind of expected. I mean, SMU at number 20. That might be a little bit of a shock, but they do have a really good quarterback. We'll see. I think 13 LSU at 13 might be a little low.
Well, I'm glad you brought up LSU because they were one of the. I think there was what was it? I had the stat. Okay,
To be fair, they do have brand new coach and quarterback coming in, Lane Kiffin and Sam Levitt. So
yeah, so I'm gonna be excited to see that. I would just say that this preseason coaches poll kind of means nothing. So last season, 11 teams that were ranked in the preseason coaches poll were not included in the final one.
Yeah,
and that included or there was 3 teams that were in the top 10 that ended up not making it. Number 3, Penn State. Number 6, Clemson. And number 9, LSU all lost 6 games in 2025.
Around me.
Yeah, it was a rough season for LSU and all those other teams. But I'm excited to see. I'm just glad we're getting rankings again. Once again, the college football playoff rankings don't come out until, what was it? It's late in the season. It's like week 10 or something, right?
Yeah,
it's the official
pretty far
ones,
down the line.
Yeah. So, I mean, all this is going to change, but we now have our first initial poll, our first initial pass through, and where these teams will finish in the season. I don't really know, but if your team's in it, congratulations. Or it could be cursed.
And if they're not, they could be at some point. So
I'm really excited to see Oregon this year. I think like them at number 2 feels right. They have Dante Moore returning. Dan Lanning is just an absolute. I think he's a stud head coach. I was listening to an interview that he was doing on another podcast, and it just sounds like Oregon's in a good place, and they're kind of they're won that championship now. So even though they did take out my Texas Tech Red Raiders last year in a very miserable fashion,
I think they might be. I might have them as the early kind of favorites.
As number 1?
Unbiased.
Yeah.
Potential national champions.
I was shocked to see Indiana at number 6 after losing Fernando Mendoza, and they had a lot of seniors that left, but it seems like Kurt Cignetti has kind of rebuilt that team, and they might be here to stay. So that's going to be one team that I'd be interested to see just this season how it turns out. But yeah, the Big Ten absolutely showing out in the poll, and the SEC, no surprise there. And then maybe some other teams can make a Cinderella run with what we got with the new college football playoff format.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's our birdies of the week. Next, we'll come back and do some top headlines go around the NFL. Or we're back to do some NFL news and talk some contracts that have now been finalized. Matt, start us off here with some of the extensions.
Yeah, so speaking of the New Orleans Saints, Chris Olave just signed a 4-year, $132 million deal, $90 million guaranteed, which is like $33 million annually. And then a couple of days later, Zay Flowers signs his extension. 4 years, $140 million, $108 million guaranteed, $35 million annually. Flowers is now number 1 all time amongst receivers in most guaranteed money.
That is shocking.
So
I did see that they said Zay Flowers was the best receiver in Ravens history. It's a very short list of receivers. And the fact that the
Jacoby Jones, Steve Smith.
Yeah, but Steve Smith, it was like a late year Steve Smith.
Correct. But he might be. I mean, obviously, like I've said this before, the pay scaling, this is kind of where it is. Like I would consider him like a wide receiver 1. Not on most teams, but on the Ravens for sure. And you got to pay him wide receiver 1 money.
Yeah, I should make a compilation of all the times you've said that the pay just scales every year and it goes up. It
does. I mean, listen, Justin Jefferson is what, number 2 in guaranteed money at 88.7. Jamar Chase is number 3 with 73.9. JSN is number 4 with 69.1 million guaranteed.
And then
I know Olave
there's one more you're missing there. There's number 5 on the list.
Who's number 5?
CeeDee Lamb, $67 million.
You know who might get more than that?
George Pickens.
Yeah. He is due. But I mean, so the Olave $90 million guaranteed isn't exactly. It's not like normal guaranteed money. It's like.
Yeah, I saw you were arguing with someone on Twitter about this.
Yeah, he enlightened me to that. It's not exactly $90 million guaranteed, but it's pretty close. It's weird how every contract is different, right?
Let me use this as a moment to plug the Twitter. Follow us at Brodie Pod on Twitter. You can see Matt getting into arguments.
Yes, that happens quite often. But I mean, every contract is different, especially dealing with the Saints. They love to add a void year and all that stuff. They get around the cap in a whole bunch of creative ways, but it's not exactly $90 million guaranteed.
Yeah, wasn't it like his 4th year or something where some of that guaranteed money is like spread out or something?
Yes.
Okay. I saw like a quick summary of it, but I knew like I do a podcast with a Saints fan, so I imagine you were going to be in the weeds on it, exactly what the contract was.
Yeah, it's just hard to keep track of, really.
Which contract do you think is better, the Chris Olave or the Zay Flowers
Chris
contract?
Olave, usually. Second team All-Pro last season. Yeah, I mean, 33 annually isn't crazy at all.
Right.
For somebody of his caliber, especially somebody like Zay Flowers, so I consider Olave better.
Yeah, I need to go look and see what exactly the money situation is for both these teams. I know the Saints for the longest time, they were just in cap hell.
Correct.
The Ravens, I believe recently with the Lamar Jackson signing, was there something like that? And then there was the possibility of Max Crosby coming to the Ravens, and that was going to mess up some of their contracts as well. But then that kind of fell through in the early part of this offseason. So obviously, I think, honestly, if you told me I had to make a decision on which receiver do I like better, I probably like Chris Olave better than Zay Flowers. Granted, Olave has had a lot of the health concerns so far in his career.
He's certainly has onset CTE.
Yeah, healthy.
Probably.
I like Olave, but if we're going off like what the medical history is showing, I probably like Zay Flowers more than Olave. Okay. Just because the best ability is availability, and Olave gets knocked out in a lot of games. But both are smaller body wide receivers.
Yeah, Olave is a little. I'm not going to say a little fella because bigger than both of us, but I do have underpaid, overpaid, or just right, kind of under both of those guys.
Okay.
Obviously, I would consider Olave underpaid. Zay Flowers, considering his abilities and stuff like that, maybe slightly overpaid, but again, I'm going to reference the pay scaling. That's just kind of what
I'm going to say
how it is.
I'm going to say Olave, it's just right. That contract's just right for him. He doesn't need to get like the highest amount of contract annually, right? Doesn't need to get the most guaranteed. He's not that receiver. He's not JSN. He's not Jamar Chase. He's not Justin Jefferson.
Correct.
Still a very good wide receiver, though, and you would want him as your wide receiver one. Zay Flowers, I'm going to agree with you there. I believe he is overpaid. But once again, he is a wide receiver one for the Ravens. Who else are they going to bring in besides him? Like, you already have like the homegrown talent with them and the guy that they drafted and have established chemistry with Lamar Jackson. But once again, if it was me, I'd probably say overpaid. And he won't be on my fantasy team this year. I'll go ahead and leave that one out there for any of the fantasy football guys listening. I'm not drafting Zay Flowers.
Is that a little bit of mind games?
No, I'm not drafting.
Are we a big Zay Flowers guy, low key?
No, that's not. Don't look into the tea leaves on it. I'm not drafting Zay Flowers.
There's something to say about a player getting paid, and then there might be a little regression happening.
Yeah, because now they're comfortable. What's the thing? The hungry dog always fights harder.
Correct.
Oh, so there you go. What was the next contract you had here?
So I got Darnell Wright. Right tackle of the Chicago Bears signs a 4-year, $116 million extension, $93 million guaranteed. That is the biggest contract ever for a right tackle. That is the most guaranteed money for an offensive lineman in NFL history.
Where are the trenches here?
Where are the trenches? I mean, to be fair, he did make an All-Pro.
Right.
So, and he's super young. I think he's just behind annually paid for a tackle. He's just behind Laremy Tunsil.
Which Laremy Tunsil, is he?
I think he's making
Commanders?
A little over 30.
Yeah, but is he with the Commanders or is he back with the Texans?
No, I think he's on the Commanders.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But Darnell Wright's making at this point, 29 around there, and Tunsil's at 30. But I mean, just again, this is just kind of resetting the market.
Yeah, and the Bears right now have the money to do this with Caleb Williams on his rookie deal still. That's what I think we've talked about it before. A lot of these Super Bowl teams that end up, or these dominant teams in the NFL, they get these quarterbacks, they draft them, and then on that rookie contract, you can go around and pay the rest of the team. So
correct.
I think this is good, especially for Caleb Williams and his continued development, especially with Ben Johnson. Just keeping the same guys around him, the same protection, it's going to be very helpful for him moving forward.
If you want to talk about resetting the market, when Caleb Williams is up for his contract, that potentially might be the most lucrative.
Yeah, ever. You remember whenever he was going through his like draft night or something, he's like, yeah, I want equity in the team.
Yeah, he might get the entire team.
Yeah, well, they'll be the Indiana Bears by then.
That is true. They're moving.
So they may not have money to pay him or equity in the team. Or they might say like, hey, if you pay for part of this stadium, we're getting built. But okay, cool. So we're in the trenches, but let me move a little bit further outside of the trenches, the Falcons. We do have a little bit of an extended segment on the Falcons. The long
lot going on with them.
Yeah, the week long hold in, not the hold out. The hold in is over. Bijan Robinson has signed for 3 years, $75 million, highest paid running back in NFL history. $51 million guaranteed. That's second to only, and this is surprising, rookie running back Jeremiah Love, who is $53 million guaranteed. Bijan's per year contract is $22.25 million. That is the highest per paid year. He surpasses Saquon Barkley at $20.6 million per year. How do you feel about this Bijan contract?
I mean, I think it's appropriate. Obviously, considering his running ability as well as the passing, the pass catching, the dual running backs are going to get paid. Just like Saquon did. He's able to catch the ball at the backfield. But speaking of another guy that's able to catch the ball in the backfield, arguably the best in the league, Jahmyr Gibbs. He's coming up. His time is coming for an extension. And with Bijan, I guess it was kind of a thing. Who's going to get their extension first, Bijan or Jahmyr Gibbs? And obviously Bijan did.
I'll be honest, I didn't even know about
Gibbs,
I didn't even know about the hold-in that was going in with Bijan.
Neither did I.
Yeah, I was like, I guess he was showing up to camp still, but he just wasn't doing any of the drills. I guess that's what a hold-in is, where they just show up and they just don't do anything. But a hold-out is where they just don't even show up to the facility.
It's kind of like, I mean, kind of the same thing, pretty much.
Yeah, but they can't get fined for being there.
Correct.
They just don't want to risk the injury.
So, I mean, this is probably very exciting news for Jahmyr Gibbs. Seeing that Bijan contract, because I would put him 1A, 1B, best running backs in the league.
Yeah, so Jahmyr Gibbs is looking to get his contract by the start of the NFL season as well?
Something like that. I mean, what is this, his second year? He's gone into his third.
Yeah, normally the third is when they start the negotiations.
So he's looking. They're probably in talks right now. But I mean, again, like, both of these guys are just super valuable, probably the best players on their teams. But unfortunately, they do play the position of running back. And they're not going to get probably what they're owed. Right? Like, Zay Flowers is going to get paid more than both these guys.
Right.
Even though you'd probably rather have Bijan and Gibbs over Zay Flowers.
That's just the way the league's kind of moving, where the running backs, we've talked about it before, they're looked at as like tire tread.
I mean, Gibbs,
low tire tread.
That's true. But I mean, yeah, Gibbs might get, I don't know, a little more than this, maybe.
Yeah, do you think Gibbs will soon become the highest paid running back in NFL history? Like, Bijan's going to have this title. Like, what do we see? We always see it's like for a week, and then the next guy gets paid, and it's like, okay, Now he's the highest paid.
Yeah, once again, the contract scaling stuff, like, it's just going to happen with these, like, generational talents, right? Yeah.
Also, so this has fantasy football implications as well, because this is probably 1-2 overall in the draft right now for fantasy football. So it's like, if Jahmyr Gibbs doesn't get a contract, maybe you lean towards Bijan because there's like no drama there.
But also, like, is Gibbs going to have that hunger?
Is he going to work harder, or is he going to be trying to stop, like, not get injuries? Like, is he going to go out of bounds earlier? Just, not play as hard.
Yeah.
Not risk the possibility of an injury.
I don't think we should read too much into it, but
yeah. Just as far as for the rest of the Falcons, this offseason, I don't know if the Falcons just were going around throwing money. The Falcons have also signed Drake London to a 4-year extension worth $141 million. They've signed Kyle Pitts to a 3-year extension of $54 million. And then Matthew Bergeron, left guard, 4-year extension, $96 million. Falcons are going around. They seem like their offensive core, they've kind of got it established now. Quarterback is a little different issue for the Falcons right now.
Correct.
But the rest of the weapons around the quarterback, whoever it is, they're going to be set up great. However, there is some bad news for the Falcons, and it comes on the defensive side of things. So Jalen Walker, this came out on Tuesday, is feared to have torn his ACL in practice. He went down on a 11-on-11 play late in practice. He was drafted number 15th overall in the 2025 draft out of Georgia. And he was expected to take a big jump in Atlanta's defense this year and kind of be a big spark in what they were going to build their foundation around. It sounds like he could possibly be out for the year, so the defense could be struggling. And on top of that, I didn't even know this was going on. James Pierce Jr., also a first-round pick in 2025, was arrested on domestic violence charges back in February. Those charges will be dropped if he stays out of trouble for 1 year, but the NFL could still suspend him for an undetermined period of time if the league considers what he did a violation of the league's personal conduct policy. So kind of good news and bad news there for the Falcons.
Yeah, and I think James Pierce was like in consideration for defensive rookie there. I think he had like 10.5 sacks.
Yeah.
Or something like that, which is absurd for rookie.
So it sounds like their offense is going to have to be like the cornerstone of their team because the defense might be struggling without some of these key pieces. They did go around and sign a bunch of like additional guys to the defense, just trying to like, fill the holes. These are big holes that were left, but they're trying to fill it up a little bit. But it's really going to be something that they just have to try and figure out in the preseason. But I don't think anyone had really super high expectations for the Falcons. But as far as like, if that's your team or, playoff implications, were they a playoff team? No, they were not a playoff team last year. It was the year before. But kind of seems like they have some answers, but now they have more question marks than answers.
Especially at quarterback.
Yeah.
And then leading in,
yeah. Is Tua going to be the starter? Actually, let's see. Let's see who the Falcons' starting quarterback is this year.
Certainly, they don't want Michael Penix.
Surely. Yeah, Tua is projected to be the starter right now. Michael Penix, second string. Jack Strand, third string. And then Dallas Cowboy himself, Cooper Rush, is the fourth string.
Hell yeah.
Probably going to see Cooper Rush in the preseason games.
You might. Yeah, there's a lot of... Obviously, I'm on Twitter a lot, so there's a lot of discourse. I see a lot of the Saints stuff, and they're obviously very happy about their quarterback situation right now. But, listen, if Tua's fully healthy, he's a good quarterback, man.
Highest completion percentage. You're tied with Drew Brees all time.
I think is he first?
I thought you said he was tied with Drew Brees. Or was he first? Oh, no, he's third behind Tua and so Burrow first, Tua.
I think it's Burrow, Tua, and then Brees. I put
second highest completion percentage all time.
Tua did lead the league in passing 1 year.
Also led the league in concussions.
Correct.
He led the league in fencing positions. All right, moving on to some other injuries. Matt, you want to start us off here? The Substation's back.
Again, bringing up Twitter, this has been just a big thing. Just a big, beam, I guess, now at this point. The 49ers in the electrical substation. That's probably the biggest rivalry right now in sports. The substation is up a lot right now on the Niners. There's been so many injuries. They've had 5 practices already. They have 9 injuries. So there's been Mike Evans with a quad, soreness, tightness, whatever it was. Bijan Stribling with a hamstring. Ricky Pearsall, unfortunately, with a torn ACL.
Yeah, I did see he was
something
out for
like
the season.
that. But he is out for the season. That guy can't catch a break.
Gets shot, tears ACL.
Whether it's a gun or an electrical substation, he just can't catch a break. They got Mikhail Kamara with a knee, Keon White with an adductor, Malik Mustafa hamstring, Christian Kirk, who just got there, by the way, with a calf injury. Jordan James with rib injury, broken rib maybe, bruised rib something. And then Kaylon Black with another adductor injury as well. So I made the joke. It's like I guess this is another Twitter kind of joke, but there's just sacrifices every year to keep CMC healthy.
I know. I think I know what you're talking about. Are you talking about from what's the Stranger Things?
Yeah.
They were saying that CMC was connected to the electrical substation and was like sucking up all the health of the team to stay healthy.
Correct.
I can't remember what was that villain's name? Do you know?
Vecna?
Vecna? Was that it? Yeah, they're saying CMC's Vecna.
And dude, it kind of looks like it, man. I mean, Deshaun Stribling is a rookie, and he's already hurt. And he's been there, like, I don't know. This is one of his first practices on the team. But
I did also see, so I was disconnected this weekend, but I did get on Twitter and look around a little bit. And people were making the joke that the substation looks like it's grown since the last season. Like, I didn't think it was that pronounced as last season when we were looking at it. I think we were like one of the first podcasts or shows that covered it. Like, we just did like a quick little like 2-minute talk, like, oh, is this possibly a problem? And then it just blew up out of nowhere. And now it seems like if you watch the 49ers offseason like practice right now, the biggest thing you'll see in the background is the substation. It looks like it is doubled and tripled in size.
Like, they posted a clip today. I think the 49ers did or whatever on Twitter. It was Mike Evans and Deebo Samuel running routes, which obviously Mike Evans is now hurt. But like, you could just see in the background.
Yeah, in the background,
it's the entire substation. It just encompasses the whole.
There's no city skyline. It's the skyline of the substation.
Like, I don't fucking move. Would it relocate, please?
After the scientific articles that came out last year, they got to do something and fix that problem, because it is just their whole team. Like last year, I think it was like their whole defense fell apart, and now it's like their whole offense is already falling apart. Right. Shout out, by the way, we just glossed over Deebo Samuel's at 49er again. Welcome back to the 49ers, Deebo Samuel.
Welcome home. Have fun with that substation, I guess. Right?
Have fun with the substation.
Good luck, brother.
Maybe he got away for a couple of years, so he'll be okay.
Also, like, there's George Kittle that has injury history throughout his entire career, or else he'd be like the bona fide tight end 1 in the league.
Yep.
Right?
Nick Bosa went down last year. Like, it's becoming, at some point, you got to be like, okay, I think this meme actually is a real problem, and we should probably move you know what? If you're going to play the games by it, at least like move the practice facility. Find something down the road, you know?
At least. I mean,
get like at least a couple miles. It looks like it is right in their backyard, that substation. It is.
It absolutely is across the street.
I need to include it, like what the picture of like what it looks like. I wonder if we have like a picture of like what it looked like last year and then like this year. Like, has it always been?
I did. There's this account that I saw on Twitter. It's like, he's like acting as the substation or whatever. And he's like, every time there's an injury, he's going to post a picture and it's going to be bigger.
It's just growing.
It's huge now. It's a skyscraper at this point.
The saxophones are getting louder.
They're right in your ear at this point.
All right, I think it's enough substation talk. I think we got our point across, and they need to do something about it.
They have to, man.
It's not a joke anymore. Like, their team's falling apart.
There's plenty of room over there, man. Like, they got plenty of money. They're a prominent organization within the NFL. Let's move it.
Do what the Cowboys do. The Cowboys go from Texas all the way to Oxnard, California. They can move farther down the street from a substation.
Absolutely.
A lot of teams actually move far away from their stadiums. They just get away from the distractions and go have like their preseason.
Granted, this might be Kyle Shanahan's like.
Kyle Shanahan, also another one.
Correct.
We missed. We didn't talk about this, but he was in a car crash, and apparently it's like affecting his. He's like concussed from the car crash, and he said it's like
broken nose, broken ribs.
Well, he came out and said like it's affecting his play calling. Like, he's feeling slower calling plays, and like mix that in with the substation. The 49ers might be in shambles this whole year if their coach can't even like figure out what play to call.
It might be Vecna.
Yeah, he's slower. He said it was like he was having like he was just slower making decisions on the field of like what play to call next. One of the best minds in football is having an issue, and the substation could be adding on to it.
That's simply not what you want to hear from your head coach.
No. Not with the rest of the team going out like that.
Absolutely
not. He was the reason why they were doing so well last year and made it to the playoffs. It's probably his best work yet.
So I was going to say, like, they do so well with the, dealing with the injuries. Like, Mac Jones will come in and
light it up.
He's super good. Like, when Brock Purdy gets hurt after training next to the electrical substation, right? He'll do good. But now if the head coach is injured,
they need to make a rule for the 49ers where they can have like 100 players on the roster, because by the end of it, they're going to be down to 25.
Yeah, it's a tough scene over there.
All right, what's next? We got anything else for the NFL?
Yeah, I was going to do the top 100. Obviously, since we talked about it last, there's been a lot of...
What's the top 100 up to now?
They've released a lot. It's down to 37 now.
Do we just wait for the rest of everything to come out? Or was there any, is there any, notable ones, like Lamar Jackson at 69?
Yeah, we talked about that last time.
Yeah, we talked about that, but I was seeing if there was any other, notable snubs so far.
I mean, should I just go through it?
Not all of it.
Okay. I mean...
The Spark Notes. Or we can wait until the whole list comes out and do that.
Or we could just... I think it comes out, every week, maybe.
Actually, I haven't looked at it.
Maybe not. I mean, they're done at 37. Last time we talked about it was
they were down to 60
2 weeks ago.
So we'll see. We'll let the list come out a little bit more.
Okay. I do want to say, Chris Olave is at 64.
Okay.
And Drake London is at 66. And then Zay Flowers is at 71. So the kind of helps the argument for Chris Olave might have been a steal of a contract.
Yeah, we did talk about that because we said Zay Flowers and Lamar Jackson were right next to each other.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Lamar was 69, Zay Flowers was 71.
Moving on to some quick NBA news here, Matt. You want to take it off here? I actually have not been tracking this story, but you've been tracking this story.
Yeah, so Klay Thompson and the Mavs have been talking about this, I guess, for a few weeks now, agreeing on or at least trying to agree on a contract buyout. It was rumored, I guess, previously that Klay was going to go to the Heat, but now it seems like he might go to the Lakers.
The other side of the country.
Right. To rejoin the entire reason that he joined the Mavericks in the first place was to play with Luka. And so I could completely see this, although the Heat do need help as well.
What if
so does Luka.
What if he went to the Lakers and then the Lakers traded Luka back to the Mavs? Or traded him to some other team?
That Klay might actually...
Yeah, it might be his 13th reason.
It would be his probably 14th reason.
He might retire.
Correct.
He might go join the Slovenian basketball team.
Speaking of, Luka invited a lot of the Lakers over to Slovenia to practice and to train with them.
Are you sure most of the Lakers aren't Slovenian?
They might be at this point. I mean, yeah, I guess he wants to just build rapport with the team. I mean, what is he like? LeBron left, and it's just him.
He better be paying for the flights out to Slovenia.
Oh, they can't afford it?
Austin Reeves could.
You damn right he could.
Yeah, Austin Reeves got the max contract, or he got restructured. It's like $180 million now.
Yeah, something slight.
Yeah, adding Klay to that team, I think that'd be a good add.
Yeah, I mean, Klay's still good. He played 69 games last season for the Mavs, started 8 of them. A lot of that, obviously, off the bench. Average, I'm going to round this up, average 12 points on 38% from 3, which is, I guess, a little down from his standards.
Being a splash brother.
Correct. A little down from his standards, but for Luka's standards, that's pretty good.
And he'd be right back in the backyard with Steph Curry.
He would be.
The Splash Brothers would be reunited, kind of. Be in the same state, just not the same city.
Be a few hours away.
But they get back to playing some golf or something.
I mean, that's kind of a big name, I guess. I mean, historically big name, maybe not now. Not as much now, but
we'll keep tracking. We got Matt. We got the Matt tracker on that one.
we do. I'll be there every day.
Moving on to the MLB, kind of the big MLB news that has come out this past weekend. Tarik Skubal was traded to the Dodgers from the Detroit Tigers for pretty much a bag of chips. It was not much. I think the Tigers, they got, what was it? They got Zaire Hope, an outfielder, and then they got River Ryan, and then Brady Smith, so some prospects or something that came out of it. And the Dodgers, on the other hand, get a two-time Cy Young award-winning pitcher, great starting pitcher, added to their already infinity gauntlet of a starting lineup of pitchers.
This might be their power stone.
This is the they can now Thanos snap. They now have the full infinity gauntlet of pitchers. However, before we get into too much, he did make his first start tonight, Tuesday, against the Cubs. And the Dodgers lost 5-1. Tarik Skubal pitched 6 innings, gave up 4 hits, 2 earned runs, and 6 strikeouts. He also gave up a home run.
Not bad, though.
Not bad, but
3rd run, 6 strikeouts.
A lot of people were saying that the Dodgers were ruining baseball, and the Cubs just proved like they are beatable. Maybe not for 7 games, but they are beatable.
Definitely not for 7 games.
Yeah. A lot of people have also said, like, well, I guess let me backtrack here. The Dodgers, if you don't know too much about baseball, there is no salary cap. They can pay their players whatever they want, but they do have to pay a lot in the luxury tax. The Dodgers have completely thrown that out the window. They said, we got unlimited money. We'll pay whatever we need. We got Shohei Ohtani. Who do they got else? They got Shohei Ohtani, Blake Snell. Who's the other? Yamamoto. Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
Yeah.
I said Shohei Ohtani. They got Freddie Freeman. They have
Mookie Betts.
That's what I was thinking of.
It's just the list is endless, right?
Yeah,
the list is endless.
Yeah, the Dodgers, they have superstars at every position that you could ever want. They have a starting roster or starting pitching rotation that when they get into the playoffs, it's going to be a problem for at least like the first 4 or 5 games. It's going to be a superstar pitcher that is going to take a while into the game and it's going to wear down on teams. I will say the caveat to all this, the Dodgers did go to a game 7 last year against the Toronto Blue Jays and did struggle a little bit. They won that in game 7, but they are like the 2-time champs. This is a big trade, and it's only going to make them that much better. People are saying a lockout's coming because there's got to be a salary cap. There's got to be a salary floor and salary cap, and obviously the players, they want to get paid the most money possible. They don't want that to happen. I am glad for Tarik Skubal getting off the Tigers. Not really a team that, they're not the superstar. Like, he's going to probably get a ring. He most definitely will get a ring. Like, the Dodgers are now like the clear favorite. Any team that has to go up against them in the playoffs is going to be in for a rude awakening. Or maybe not. Maybe not a rude awakening, but any NL team, they're going to have to battle the Dodgers. And then the AL, like, you make it to the World Series, you're probably playing the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yeah, so what the Tigers got in return was Zaire Hope, we talked about, the 25th ranked prospect across all of the MLB. They got River Ryan, who is pitcher, is the 68th ranked prospect across all the MLB. And then Brady Smith, who is the 95th. Is he even ranked? He was ranked as the number 17th prospect in the Dodgers farm system. I don't know, they didn't get much. They got 2 top 100 prospects, 1 top 50 prospect at 25 in Zaire Hope. So, not much. Like you said, bag of chips.
Yeah, and apparently the Dodgers are already like, I guess they have the inside track on getting an extension on Tarik Skubal too. So, like, I think he's under contract for 2 years. People are saying the Dodgers for the next 2 years have ruined baseball. Like, it could be longer. It could be like through the 2030 season or something. The Dodgers could just start winning championships. Now, we may not have baseball next year because, like I said, the players don't want to do this. They're going to go into this whole negotiation with the owners. The owners obviously don't want to keep paying all this max money, and they don't like the unlimited contracts that baseball has. They want there to be a salary cap. The players, they just want to get paid the most possible. I think also baseball is all guaranteed.
Yeah. And I mean, even Tarik Skubal came out and had a statement that was saying, like, he doesn't blame the Dodgers for being the ones that made the trade because, quote unquote, any team could have traded for him. He didn't really reference that he was going to the best team in baseball, right?
But that's a good point, though. Any other team could have made this trade for Tarik Skubal. Like,
apparently, it didn't take much.
There. Yeah,
it didn't take much.
Yeah, like I said, the Dodgers now have like a full Cy Young like pitching rotation. Tarik Skubal, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Shohei Ohtani, Blake Snell, Tyler Glasgow. That's just like the 5. There's obviously way more that they got in the bullpen and everything. They're loaded up for this year to make a good run. They are. I was just looking at the standings. Go ahead. I'll go ahead and put them in. Dodgers are in the playoffs. They're 8.5 games above the Diamondbacks. As far as just the National League, they are actually they're behind the Milwaukee Brewers.
Not for longer. Not for much longer.
Mizorowski is literally holding the entire baseball world in his hands.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they did lose to the Cubs tonight, so, or I guess on Tuesday by the time this episode comes out. So, the Dodgers. Yeah,
but speaking of, like, you could just pay anybody anything in the MLB, the entire Dodgers starting 5 pitchers, they're combined, what the Dodgers are paying them combined is $1.3 billion.
I think that's down from before. I think they were at 1.4. Well, I think the World Series they were 1.3. So maybe.
Yeah, so they're trying to get under the cap with trading for the best pitcher in baseball, I guess.
I don't know.
Just help them out a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I did see the Dodgers owe 1.1. I mean, these numbers sound like they're fake numbers, but the Dodgers owe $1.1 billion in deferred money of just money that they've kicked down the lines. Like Shohei Ohtani, one of them, they owe him $680 million. Mookie Betts, $115 million. Blake Snell, $66 million. Freddie Freeman, $57 million. Will Smith, $50 million. Kyle Tucker, $30 million. You get it. Just goes down the list.
It really is a super team. And I did put, this was like kind of KD to the Warriors. Just like they didn't really need it, but this is like just another piece that would elevate their team even more. Like KD was one of the best players in the league when he went to the Warriors, and Skubal is, and not the best pitcher, the second best.
Yeah,
he's top 3 and he's not 3.
I put in our group message. They were asking for what a comp was because no one. I guess the guy was asking didn't keep up with baseball. I said Luka to the OKC Thunder.
Yeah,
don't need him, but
something
still
like
one of the best players in the league.
And it's, I don't know, like this is obviously we're not the biggest baseball watchers or knowers, right? But like, you think this kind of ruins the sport in a way? Like, I know there's no cap and like any team could have traded for him, but like, he obviously wanted to go to the Dodgers, right? Like,
yeah,
he certainly had some say because he is one of the best pitchers, one of the best players in baseball.
As far as what this does for baseball, it's definitely going to make like the Dodgers, they're the heavy favorites going into the playoffs. Let's go ahead and get that out right now. But they did almost lose last year in Game 7 of the World Series to the Toronto Blue Jays, of all the teams that you didn't expect. It's not a for sure thing, but they are now like, they're the team that everyone's going to be, they're going to have the target on their back that everyone's going to be wanting to take out. However, it's going to be very tough to take that team out. So, moving on here, I think that's all we had for the baseball. But yeah, the Dodgers have ruined baseball. We're not going to do a final segment this week just because it's late. We don't have anything planned for it. So thank you everyone for listening to the show. Be sure to like, subscribe on YouTube. Turn on the notifications, helps out a lot. If you want to follow us on Spotify, please rate the show 5 stars, helps out a lot. If you'll stay up to date on the show, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Brodie Pod on everything. Also now available on Amazon Music. With that, we will see everyone next week. Take care. God bless. And Matt.
Love y'all.
Later.